Welcome back. We are running through all the classes. This is class number 4. It is a mage, and this is a evaluation for Saviors of Uldum cards. Lightforge tier list. I am ADWCTA.
This is Merps. Let's talk about Mage, the middle of the, you know, middle of the road class right now, sitting at a solid 51% win rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Things are about to get interesting. Let's just say that. I don't know how, by the way. I don't know how Mage is not doing better. They have a lot of really good cards, so I can only imagine that the hate that Blizzard has put on the offering rates on these for Mage is just so insane right now. But we'll see what happens to it. So first, we go through the common cards. Remember, we are now in a position where commons are offered a little more than twice as much as rares. Rares are offered a little more than 3 times, maybe even more than 4 times as epics, and epics are offered God knows how many more times than legendaries. So rarities matter again. In case you have not known this, this has been true since the beginning of Rise of Shadows. Before that, rares and the commons were the same. So I think it's good that they went back to this system because you'll see, especially for Mage, but also just even in the neutrals, you saw how some of the more problematic ones are at least rare, and that'll make them less problematic. On the other hand, it made Scribes and Hoxies show up even more often, so it just depends on what they misbucket. All right, Mage. What cards do we have?
Mage.
Wow, we don't have very good cards in common. Like I said,
No.
this is going to be really good. The good cards, they're great cards in Mage. They're coming. They're just not commons.
All right.
Let's do this. Cloud Prince, 5 mana, 4/4 elemental. Battlecry. If you control a secret, deal 6 damage.
Huge swings.
Why, Blizzard? Why are you making this card? So it's rated a 100. It's like totally good. It's like Frostwolf Warlord level, Tiger level. Like
it's okay because 6 damage is huge, but oh my god.
Yeah.
It's just All right. There's not much to say about it.
Yeah, like it's just it's a ridiculously swing card. I'm never gonna take it unless I have a secret mage. But it's also the bucket system, right? You can make a secret mage pretty consistently, I'm pretty sure. So
right. So it's there's that sort of like high roll, low roll during the draft RNG, and then of course during the game you have to line it up, right? And then so will you lose to this card? Oh yeah, you definitely will. You're gonna get really pissed at this card, but what are you gonna do about it?
All right. While we're at it, here's the other 2 common cards. They're all secret related. So Secret Mage is the thing they're trying to make happen. One is Ancient Mysteries. It's rated a 94, which is where a Raptor is. It's 2 mana, draw a secret from your deck, it costs 0.
Pretty freaking good, but you have to draft secrets.
Yeah. Like, if you're looking at these cards, you're like, why aren't these amazing? It's because you have to draft secrets, and secrets are bad. For the most part.
Secrets are bad. That's the real problem with it. If secrets were good, these would be good, but secrets are not good. Therefore, these are bad.
So yeah, so this is effectively another secret in your deck. Like, it thins your deck of secrets, but otherwise it lets you get a secret when you need it. And it saves you a mana. So it also has that coin effect. But yeah, if you look at secrets here, I'll just put all these in so you can see all the secrets. Explosive Runes is our highest. That's pretty high, 130. Mirror Entities a 104, Counterspells a 100, Spellbender's a 96, Splitting Image is a 93, Flame Ward we'll get to, that's a 88, Mana Bind's a 88, Vaporize is a 84. Like, they're all draftable, right? But they're not like outside of Explosive Runes, you don't want to like put them in your deck or anything. So if you start going down this secret route that Cloud Prince and Ancient Mysteries wants you to go down, you're gonna have to like take these secrets, and they're not underbucketed. Like, Explosive Runes may still be underbucketed. I don't know if they fixed the bucketing on that one, but none of the other ones are underbucketed. So you're gonna have to keep. This is like the Highlander issue, right? Like, you're gonna have to keep skipping the parts in which Blizzard has misbucketed stuff.
Yeah. So thankfully, Cloud Prince is in the 6th bucket, potentially the top of the 7th bucket.
Cool. So correctly bucketed.
So correctly bucketed there, and I don't think we have any information for the
for
the
Ancient
stuff.
Mysteries. Okay, Flame Ward is at 88. This is kind of where most secrets that aren't mirror image end up, or like explosive war, or just something that does something to a minion that immediately happens. This is where most of them end up, around 88. It's kind of weird because the secrets are actually really sophisticatedly done in the algorithm, but then they all end up somewhere between like 80 and like 100. And you're just like, you're doing so much work figuring out all the like possible scenarios and how much like choice your opponents have and how much your choice has and all this stuff, and then it just comes out to some number that people are gonna look at and be like, oh yeah, that's fine. So yeah, it's 3 mana, Flame Ward, secret. After a minion attacks your hero, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. It's a 3 mana version of Explosive Trap, but like without the face damage.
Yeah. 3 is a lot more than 2, but at the same time, it's like
how bad would Explosive Trap be if it didn't deal 2 damage to the face?
So bad.
Right? That's so important.
Like, you posed something that actually disgusted me. Like, what? What? Oh, ew. Oh, God, that's disgusting. Anyways, Flame Ward is top of the 4th bucket.
All right.
Oh,
like, you shouldn't take Flame Ward.
Yeah.
At that bucket. Most of the time, you just shouldn't take secrets, explosive runes aside.
Yeah, a small but still a consideration. It procs after the minion hits your face.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not when a minion attacks, it's after a minion attacks. So even if they attack with that like 10-1 minion, that 10-1 minion still lands.
Right.
Yeah. You kill it afterwards, but you might be dead.
All right.
Consideration there.
Now we are on to rares. Okay. Here's where the power comes. You want a secret deck, not really for those other cards, which are good for secret swings, but they're kind of fair for the risk you take. This is the engine here. This is the unfair card that Blizzard made to make the whole engine run. It's a 2 mana 3/2. It's Arcane Flak Mage. So it's a raptor. After you play a secret, this is just a persistent ability. It's not a battle cry or anything. After you play a secret, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. Just consecrate whenever you play a secret.
Why couldn't they just make this 2 to all minions, period? Why does it strictly have to be enemy minions? Why does this also have to be a 3/2 and not a 2/2?
See, this is when bad design happens. When Blizzard, for Constructed, right? If Blizzard makes a card like this, they can strictly control what kind of decks are going to be built, and then they know the power levels, and they can control balance. So, if you're like not very good at balancing, or you're just really scared, you do stuff like this. It also goes beyond balance, right? If you make stuff like this, you know what decks are being created. You know that those decks are fun. And that's also very important to Blizzard, right? Because the good players are just going to create the decks, the other players are going to just copy it, and then everyone will be playing fun decks. Yay!
Okay,
but when it comes to the arena, this is just like the worst type of design absolutely possible.
Prepare to see this, because apparently it's in top of the 4th bucket, around there.
Yeah, it's a 180. It's like one of the... It's like... I think Flamestrike is lower?
That kind of makes sense.
No, Flamestrike is 3 points higher. But yeah, it's pretty much Flamestrike.
Kind of makes sense.
And remember, this is us assuming... We know how bad secrets are. This algorithm knows how bad secrets are. It does not want you to take the secrets. And it's still a 180.
Once you create a card that gives you essentially a consecration attached to every secret, suddenly it's kind of okay. Who knew attaching a consecration to a bad card would make it good? Oh boy, ridiculous.
Yeah, also secrets know that this card exists too, and they're still that bad.
I know.
Just a FYI.
So guys, you're definitely gonna lose to some disgusting secret mage decks. It's definitely gonna happen. Be prepared for it. Mentally brace yourself for it right now. It's definitely gonna happen. Not much you can do about it.
It's terrible. This is just like god-awful design for the arena. Because it wasn't designed for the arena, right? Like, there's no one in Blizzard at the design stage of these cards who cares about arena. They've made that very clear. They're like, after these cards come out, we'll try to make arena balanced and spend some efforts on it, right?
Well, they definitely don't care because they also placed Ethereal Conjurer at the top of the 4th bucket.
I
What
mean,
score
that's silly, right? Ethereal Conjure is not better than Wrapped Golem. Wrapped Golem is clearly better. Ethereal, and
that's
that's in the fifth bucket, right? Like, this is so over bucketed. Ethereal Conjure should be like seventh bucket, maybe
oh
six.
oh gosh, that's so true. Yeah. That's so true.
Okay, so
Anyways,
Arcane Flak Mage, one of the cards that will ruin the arena definitely for everybody, including if you're a mage, because now you're going to kind of want to draft secrets, and it's just it's bad. It's bad. This is not going to be good, and this has nothing to do with what anybody who has any say on arena balance at Blizzard is doing. They just can't balance this card. Like, what they need to do is to take this and put it in the top half of the first bucket so no one ever sees it. I don't think they're going to do that.
yeah,
Oh, we'll see.
I don't think so.
Where is this right now? Fourth bucket, right?
It's fourth bucket.
Okay, so one, I'm pretty sure this card's going to get moved up buckets because people are going to take this card. It looks badass because it is badass. So I wouldn't think it's fourth bucket for long. But as long as
with pure upside that deals huge like this screams pick me to everyone, right?
But if it doesn't get to, even if it's the bottom half of the first bucket, it's still terrible. Like, to be in the arena, it needs to be the top half of the first bucket.
The design spaces, terrible. It's like at any given moment, you're just like, God, they could consecrate me while developing a secret and a 3/2.
Yep,
that's terrible. That just feels
it's a free consecration.
Yeah,
and then they could do it again for any number of secrets they have, whenever.
Right.
Like, why can't this be Battle Cry? If you have played a secret this turn, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions.
Sure. Or, I don't know, be 3 mana?
Well, I don't think they wanted to do that. But okay. Moving on. This is just a terrible card. You should always take this card when it is offered, even if you don't have secrets yet. Because you might end up with a secret somewhere, and that will make this card worth it in the fourth bucket. Terrible. Okay. Alright, Naga Sea Witch is
Sandwich.
Oh, Naga Sandwich is 5 mana 5/5. Battlecry, change the cost of spells in your hand to 5. Kind of weird.
Cool.
It's a 94. Its effect is pretty positive, but not very positive.
There's a lot of expensive spells, so that's why. And you can play the cheap spells before you play the we account for that. So,
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Dune Sculptor is your final rare mage card. 3 mana 3/3. After you cast a spell, add a random mage minion to your hand. It's only a 76. You may be wondering, oh my god, why? Why is it so low? It's like free whatevers. Well, you have to cast a spell first, and 3 mana 3/3s are terrible in this meta. This is like the meta of like overpowered stuff, right? So you have a 3 mana 3/3, then it's purely like a late game kind of like you play it, then you have a spell, and then what do you get out of it? You add a random mage minion to your hand. Mage minions are kind of hit or miss.
That's the problem with it. It's you got some real bad mage minions too, because mages are like pretty so it's low. It's low. Okay.
All right. Epics. So
oh god.
Yep. All right. Let's start with the one that makes me less mad. Jaina was such a good character, and Mage was such a good class until Blizzard just turned up the RNG on Mage to like 5,000. Like,
no, first they turned up the power, then they turned up
true.
the RNG.
That's true.
And they never stopped turning up the RNG. Okay?
It's like in the initial design, like think of how many cards have RNG in Mage in like Classic and like whatever.
No, it was by far like the most sort of straightforward class.
Yeah,
it was the tutorial class.
Yeah, it was the tutorial class. Like, yeah, you got arcane missiles, but like that's it. Other stuff ain't random. Now Mage is like the flag bearer for like randomness after Rogue. 8 mana 5/5. Tortolan Pilgrim. Battlecry. Discover a copy of a spell in your deck and cast it with random targets. This is a 1/16. It is not as random as it seems at all. It has to
Flame
be a
Strike is not
spell.
random.
Yep, Flame Strike is not random. It's only looking at spells in your deck. It is Discover, so you have a pretty good shot of getting what you want, and you have almost a certainty of getting something that is not a random targeted thing.
Yep. So this is the meta with meteors. You got blast waves, right? You just like or sorry, you have flame strike, you have blizzard, you have like blast wave. You don't want to cast the meteors because you can hit yourself. You don't want to cast like the pyroblast because you can hit yourself. But like ADWCTA said, you should be able to find a decent amount of things to just sort of cast. And if you have a secret, well, you kind of just paid what you're supposed to pay, right?
Right.
3 mana for the secret, 5 mana for a 5/5 body. You're not getting huge value like you're getting with the flame strike, but fair enough. You can typically minimize the downside or eliminate the downside. You might not get the sick upside, but you can typically eliminate the downside.
Why? Like this card is 116, which is pretty damn good in this
Pretty
rating
good, yeah.
system. Like this is like way above Yeti, and it's 8 mana, right? And it potentially doesn't even have initiative depending. So what's holding it down, besides like the some amount of RNG that it is still assuming, is also really the fact that you have to have these cards in your deck, which you may not, and if you don't, you're not going to be able to discover it. So like if you knew you had a flame strike in your deck and that was always the case, then this card would be rated way higher.
Yeah, it's just sometimes you have meteor instead.
Yep.
Which is that's a little bit scary. But what if you didn't have any of those cards, but you had the next card that's coming up?
This card is rated a 148. Yes, it went up since we last valued it.
So guys, uh the algorithm heavily penalizes 10 mana cards, correct? I think that's correct. Wait, the algorithm absolutely hates RNG cards, right? Yeah. So a card that's 10 mana casts 10 random spells with targets chosen randomly can't possibly be good, right? Nope, it's primordial Drake level. It is almost meteor level. We are getting to that Drake meteor blast wave primordial glyph kind of level with it being random and 10 mana. We present the puzzle box of Yogg Saron. Welcome to your RNG Lord and Savior.
Okay, so this actually went up something like, I don't know, 20 points. Yeah, and that's before, like, if you don't count the recentering that happened, like, compared to where it was a week ago when we discussed it on the Lightforge. And it did that because it knows the new spells that are in now, because we added it to be this meta rather than just calculating it as of the Rise of the Mechs meta, which was what the score was before then. And, well, in this meta compared to the old meta, there's less things that have things that require targets. There are just a lot more spells that just give you something. So this is stuff that like an algorithm will do much better than a human, and this is a good meta for this card. There will be metas in which this card is not like ridiculous, but in this meta, this card is ridiculous.
So here's pretty much what you can expect. I think a lot of people are just like, well, you have no idea what it'll cast. No, there's variants, but you can be fairly certain it's going to clear the board. It's going to play like 2 secrets on your end. And that's pretty freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty freaking good to clear.
It will then cast Deck of
board.
Wonders, and then it will cast some card draw, and then it will loop infinitely.
There you go. Just get me off Mr. Bones' wild ride. But no, like it's going to clear the board. It's going to draw you some cards. It's going to play a couple of secrets. That's really freaking good for 10 mana. Now, it won't do it consistently. It's not Ultimate Infestation, guys. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much going to happen. And that's really freaking good. I am totally in support of this. So I see some people in chat we're just like, oh, another time when the algorithm is bugged. No,
No.
no,
The
no, no.
algorithm is not wrong about this stuff. There's like
And
some
this,
things in which you're like, who knows? Like if there's an error, like this is complicated. Then there's stuff. It's like if this is about as easy to do for the algorithm as a 4 mana 4/4 with vanilla.
so the thing with this, with the puzzle box is that people think that it's like, oh, it's so many spells, it's more random. No, no, no. Because it's casting 10 spells, it raises the consistency of it. Like you increase the chances that it's going to clear the board. You increase the chances that it's going to do all of this stuff. It's not just going to toss fireballs around. It's increasing the chances of it casting these things that are not random, like
Mm-hmm.
Flame Strike, like Blizzard, like Blast Wave, etc. Secrets that are not random, right? Card draw that's not random. So, of all the random things, if you increase the sample size of this, the amount of times you cast non-random things increases significantly. And actually, there are a lot more things that are non-random, as we just talked about with the turtle, right? So that is why, if you think about this a lot more, you really like this card in terms of how good it is consistently, and you hate it because of what it's going to turn mages into. I'm gonna hate play. Like, this is the reason I'm gonna play Hunter. This is exactly the reason
Yeah,
why
just
I'm
make
gonna
sure they
play
don't get to
Hunter.
turn 10. They
But
can have as many
because,
of these as they want in their deck.
yeah, so it's just like, oh my god. Yeah, I want to also stress this because this is what really sold me on it. There was a time in which tournament winning decks were playing Yogg Saron, and Yogg Saron killed itself consistently, but they didn't care. They just wanted the effect.
Mm-hmm.
So when constructed decks were using up one of their card slots for basically this effect, it's gonna be good in arena. Like, it's gonna be real, real good in arena.
Millhouse also exists, just saying. Okay.
Oh my
For.
god.
It's gonna happen one of these days.
Of course it is. I
Uh,
mean, of freaking course it is.
Okay, so it's turn. Let's go back to the legendary. Let's go legendary mage. Wrap this up. It's Reno the Relicologist, 168, insanely high powered legendary. It is
This is really
the
good. Yeah.
no, Pyros is better. Pyros is the 175 in case anyone's
But
tracking it.
Zephyrus is better than
Yes, Zephyrs
Pyros
is
now.
better than Pyros. In our ratings, we'll see how good the Blizzard algorithm is. So
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, Reno the Relicologist, 6 mana, 4/6, battle cry. If your deck has no duplicates, deal 10 damage, randomly split among all enemy minions. Again, randomly split among all enemy minions is like almost a controllable thing. You're just wiping, like, you just make sure they
Really
only have
good.
10 health on the board after you make your trades or whatever, and then it just clears the board. This is insane when it triggers. Your problem, of course, is that to build the deck, again, just like with Zephyrus, just like with Sir Murgleton, you have to build a Highlander deck, or this is going to be very inconsistent. And when you build a Highlander deck, you lose value every single game, not just the games in which you actually draw and play this card.
But 10 split damage is really good. So hopefully you guys weren't swayed by the reaction from this card being revealed, because all of the constructed people were like, this card sucks. And yeah, it does suck in constructed, because constructed really isn't about, like, a lot of the times it's not about board presence, and it's not about sort of these board swings. It's it's all these combo decks. It's it's basically two decks playing solitaire and trying to get to their win condition or solitaire condition first. So this Reno the Relicologist is like inapplicable, really, in a lot of modern constructed win condition. So you're just like, oh, well, this payoff sucks. In arena, this is exactly the payoff that you want. 10 split damage. That's amazing, because they're probably always going to have the board, and if they don't have a board, well, you're doing pretty well, right? So this is worth building that Highlander deck, and yeah,
Yeah, even if you do like have the board, you're just wiping away their entire turn and
Yep.
putting a 4/6 on the board and having more mana. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, so in summary, Mage is gonna have terrible, terrible, terrible to face RNG crap. Even Flak Mage is pretty much RNG, and based on whether they draw the secrets, whether they have the secrets in their deck or
There's no
not.
play around it. Yeah,
This
that's
is
the thing.
nothing.
It's like because they can just put down Flak starting on turn 5. It's like they could just put down Flak Mage and then play a secret, and that's so much tempo.
And then
So
on
much
turn 6, they could play 2
AoE.
secrets.
They could play 2 secrets. You are going to lose hard to the secret mage, and then once you claw your way back, just when you think you can win, that's when they play Puzzle Box of Yogg Saron and snatch any hope you have left from you.
And remember, you're a good player. Those cards are way worse for you than for your opponent. So it's like, I don't know what to do as Mage in the arena, because I don't think it's actually going to be all that good. Like, these are high powered cards, but they're way too RNG, and those are like epic ones are really good, right? Arcane Flak Mage is a rare, and it's a minion. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that it's a minion because it's going to get the bonus for being in the new set, but yeah, like, you're gonna have to take a whole bunch of common cards to support the Arcane Flak Mage and like bad cards, and it's just, you need to high roll the number of Arcane Flak Mages. That's gonna be tough. Like, there's not great secret support past that. There's like some secret support. So I don't know what to do with the Mage. I don't know what's gonna happen with it. It's just gonna be a high roll class, I think. Like, I think its normal thing is a lot. Okay, it's gonna be an aggro class. There's good aggro support right now. There's decent control support, but not like great for a Mage. And you can always just play Mage mid range. But for all the fancy stuff that this set offers, you're not gonna be able to use most of it.
Yeah, and you hate archetypes in which you can't really build around them consistently, but you're always going to lose to them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say irrelevant for you, but very relevant for you when you're facing
very
Mages.
relevant for your opponents, which kind of sucks. So, anyways, that's Mage. Get ready to be tilted off the face of the earth.
Yep. Thank you guys for watching and everyone for listening. Shout out to the mods who are supporting us here at Twitch. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video for the next class. Going through these, we finally crossed the halfway point in the next class, and that will be Warlock. Not saving the best for last. Huge spoilers, not spoilers at all. Warlock's ridiculous. See you guys.
Bye.